Hi, everybody. My name is Nora Griffin, and I'm going to be your instructor in this course. I wanted to take a few minutes to do a welcome video to do a few different things, one of which is show you that, like, hi, I'm a real person. It's Friday before our class starts, and I'm recording this quick video that is usually super duper awkward to record. So I want you to see, that I'm real because you're going to be hearing my voice all the time over PowerPoint slides as lectures, but you're not necessarily going to be seeing me. So here I am. So now you've got, I guess, a face to go with the voice, neither of which are that awesome. But you can see that I'm sharing my screen because I want to take you through Canvas and kind of how to be acquainted with our course. So give me 1 second because I realized I didn't switch to student view. It looks a little bit different when you're the teacher. Okay, so granted, you won't see a big old purple thing at the bottom of yours, but this is what indicates to me that I'm looking at the class and the way that my students are. So you can see that I clear out a lot of stuff. I just kind of keep it to what we really, really need. And I update the homepage each week as we finish up. So you'll see this banner changing to week 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. And so keep an eye out for that because that's how you can reach all of the week's resources. The other place you can go is to the left-hand side and click modules. Other important things about the class are right here on the homepage. Can you tell I learned how to make buttons in Canvas? And I'm kind of excited about it. Your syllabus is linked right here. When this says how to reach Professor Griffin, it's actually the instructions of how to do it. It's not like a link that actually makes it happen. The way that you actually make it happen is you use the Canvas inbox. So again, if you look to your left on the screen, there's the inbox icon. And so that is kind of like sending me an email in Canvas. And I ask that you use that, please, instead of regular old SCC emails, because SCC sends out so many emails that it's really, really easy for student emails to get pretty quickly buried. So I never want to miss a message. And so please use the Canvas inbox to reach me. Our textbook is a free open source online textbook. It is a PDF that you can read anywhere. You can read on your phone if you want. And so there's a link to it here, and then there's going to be a link to it in each module. So you'll see what chapter and or combination of things we're reading that week. So let's go into modules and take a look. So the course resources are at the top. It's kind of repetitive, the syllabus, how to reach me, sociology textbook, things like that. There's a little bit of stuff of resources from SCC, although after the first week, I usually move those to the bottom. And then here's our week 1, and this will give you an idea of how all of our modules are going to look. You can only see week 1, and then I will upload or make the weeks available as we get closer to them. So as I was saying, as far as your reading, we're using this free open source textbook. Sometimes you're reading 2 chapters. I would say actually most of the time you're reading 2 chapters from the textbook. And if you're like 2 chapters a week, it's an 8-week class. So it's twice as fast as a regular class. So yes, there is a fair amount of reading and writing. There's also a few weeks where you read 1 chapter and then you read a couple of articles. The first week is one of those weeks. So you can see right here what the reading is, and it's titled Readings. You can see the 2 lectures. I was talking about the fact that I lecture over PowerPoint slides. There's 2 lectures to listen to. And then there's 2 assignments. There's an essay each week. And that essay needs to cover both of those lectures and the readings for the week. If you click on it, you can take a look and see the fact that I say, here's the paragraphs and here's what they need to be on each week. And so you can always go to look for that. The weeks that you have a couple articles, you're going to have an extra paragraph to write, but overall the articles are going to be shorter than a chapter. So it kind of evens out in that way. Quick couple of notes about the essay. The essay is a first-person endeavor. It is an I writing perspective, a personal perspective, because what you're going to be doing is listening to the lectures and reading the readings. And you're going to take one thing that you thought was really, really interesting from each resource, and you're going to connect it in some way to what you see happening in your life. So very much it can be from a first person, me, I perspective. So what I see students doing a lot of times with these essays and where you'll get feedback. I usually give feedback the first week to kind of point you in the right direction for the rest of the weeks. I see students telling stories, which I love stories. Stories are great. But what they do is they say, oh, this is what I found to be really, really impactful from the chapter, and here's a story about it. And then they don't really do the actual work of the assignment, which is connecting and analyzing that connection. So really the word you want to keep in the back of your head as you're writing your essays is why. Like, why? Where did I get this idea? Why do I think that this is right? Why do I think that this is not right? So kind of making sure that you're not just telling various details of your life and thinking that that is actually what the essay is about. The essay is about exploring and analyzing a detail or two of your life. So it's not that you need to give me a whole list of like, oh, this connects to my life because of this and this and this and this. No, kind of pick one and then dig into why it really matters. If you find yourself telling me a story and you're like, oh, well, my paragraph's pretty big now, I think I'm done. You're not. So unless you've done the analytical work, you need to make sure that that is there. So maybe that means your paragraph for that particular statement is really, really long, and that's fine if you want to do that. Perfectly fine with me. But make sure you are analyzing and discussing why this connection is important in your life. So essays are something that we do every single week. I know that it can be a little bit anxiety producing to do an assignment for the first time. So please know that I'm here to support you as you get ready to do your first essay. Like I said, I get feedback afterwards. And a lot of times students who are consistent and make sure that they've gotten any questions they may have answered are students that usually are pretty successful on the assignment. Okay, I'm going to go back to modules and start to wrap this up because I don't want this video to be too long because then you won't watch it. The other assignment that we have is something I'm hoping you're really, really familiar with at this point, discussion boards. So we'll be doing one essay and one discussion board each week. The first discussion board, as you can see, is introductions to each other. Beyond that, it's going to be tied into one of the two topics for the week. And I hope that you find that the discussion boards are approachable. They're not necessarily, I haven't designed them to be like super duper highly academic, like if you were to get to the end of a chapter and like they have all the questions like to review stuff. I don't like to make discussion boards like that. I like to make discussion boards more something that you can, once again, kind of like the essay, that you can talk about how you see this concept coming alive around you. So I've always seen students be really, really supportive to each other in their comments to each other on discussion boards, and I'm looking forward to yet another semester of that. So let's talk about what we've covered. Free open source online textbook already linked in the class. Assignments each week are one essay and one discussion board. For those of you who are reading the syllabus carefully, thank you. But also like looking through and going, well, wait a second, where are the tests? There aren't any. So please remember when you are writing essays and things along those lines that you're like, well, the work has been redistributed in this class to this particular assignment, as opposed to kind of arbitrary multiple choice quizzes or tests. This allows you to really, really apply these concepts. All assignments in this class are due on Sunday nights by 11:59 p.m. So that's kind of an important detail. You can reach me by pressing Canvas inbox. I will be keeping a closer eye on that this week because I know it's the first week of class and that there can be lots of questions. I am the type of person that makes announcements. I don't make a ton of them, but I do use that tool. So if you're a person who's not getting announcements like in your emails or something to be alerted on something, you might want to do that. And then as you sign into class each week, as I've said, this stuff will stay here. This is just kind of repeating what I'm talking about in the this video right now, but you'll see this banner right here change each week as we make our through the weeks. So thank you. I wanted to take a quick second, even though there's been a lot of seconds in this video already. I'm a part-time instructor at the school. I am an adjunct, which means I have to teach at multiple schools to kind of piece together one job. And I've been at Santiago Canyon for 8 years now, and I love it. It's actually the school I went to. I went to Santiago Canyon myself. But my point in telling you this is I keep an eye on enrollment because my job depends on it. If a class doesn't enroll, I lose it, and I lose a significant part of my job each semester. This particular class, as maybe you noticed when you were enrolling, this class was almost full and full like weeks in advance. So please know that that meant a heck of a lot to me. That is not the easiest thing for instructors to be doing right now. Enrollment is kind of down overall. And so I just wanted to take a moment. I always thank students for enrolling in the class, but I wanted to like extra thank you for enrolling in the class because that just was something that I felt very, very fortunate to see early on. So Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be as excited as I ever am with every other student to see you make your way through sociological concepts. I talk about it in the first lecture a little bit, that they're just concepts that you see happening around you every single day. And I hope that ends up being the same for you too. Thanks for taking a listen to whatever, however long this video is. I don't have a counter in front of me, so I'm almost afraid to look. And again, I will be eager to hear from you if you have any other questions. Thanks.